What's happening, hunters? So in this video, I'm going to be taking you through the Gunlance trees and just showing you the way I upgraded, but also the way that would be like the most efficient to upgrade if you're trying to get through the campaign as easily as possible. So on the Expedition tree, this is what you start out with, just your Hope Gunlance. You could level it up easily just with some ore, so I would do that basically as soon as you can because it's extremely cheap. And then eventually you're going to fight a Chemitress. This is quite a good early game Gunlance because you can see we've got 230 attack, 5% affinity, and 140 fire element. And the shelling type is normal, which is fine. They all have pros and cons. Normal holds the most shells in the magazine. And then the power is slightly strong, which is very good. And then if we go to the sub menu and check out the skills, we have Guard, slightly decreases the impact of attacks and reduces stamina depletion by 15%. This is very, very strong on a Gunlance. So for an early game Gunlance, this is quite good. And then you can upgrade it to Rarity 3. Again, quite early. You just need Firestone, Chemitress Tail, and Dragonite Ore. All pretty easy to get in the early game. Then you're going to have 322 attack, still the slightly strong shells, and Guard level 2. Which is very, very good. So this will carry you quite a long ways. So the thing that's really nice with the Chemitress upgrade path is it devolves into the Guardian Arcveld path, and the Guardian Arcveld stuff is very, very strong if you did want to go that way. But again, we're talking early game here. So Chemitress will help you get past Guardian Arcveld so that you can craft this. Another one that I quite liked is the Agerican. The Agerican set is also really good, which I'll get to after. And then this one actually has the wide shelling type, which is very strong, but the power is only normal. But again, you've got almost 300 attack and 190 blast. I was really liking blast. It comes in handy. It's good for staggering enemies. It's just free additional damage. And you'll want to be farming an Agerican anyways for the armor set. So you may be able to craft this one early. So that's another one you could go with. And then you could also upgrade this one. But the one that I actually went with in a bit of the later game was the Gypceros tree. This is the hard hitter. At Rarity 5, you're getting 414 attack, which is really good overall attack. And your shelling actually bases off the base attack. Plus you have slightly strong power. And this one's got the long shelling type, which I actually quite like because you can hit your shells from a decent distance away. But they aren't as strong as, say, wide for just shelling. But they are still quite good. So yeah, the hard hitter is what I went with, and it was really, really strong. And then eventually, you're going to get to Gravios, and I think the white Gunlance is absolutely incredible. If we look at the skill info, you can see we've got Guard Up 3, reduces damage taken by 80%. This is so, so good. I just can't believe how strong it is. So for me, I really like Guard Up. A lot of people are going to like Guardian Arcveld as well. It's got Guard, which decreases the impact of attacks and reduces stamina depletion by 30%. So this is just going to allow you to stand in there and keep your stamina up that much easier. And it reduces the impact of the attacks, so you're just going to take less damage. And then if you have Guard Up stacked with this, it's going to be even better. So yeah, Guardian Arcveld, very good. Gravios, for me, is amazing because of Guard Up. I absolutely love it. And then we've got, like I said, the Chemitress path. If you're interested in that, I threw a Agerican in there. And I used Gypceros on my journey to the Endgame, and it did perform quite well. And that was just the base one. You can see I don't even own this one. But yeah, just this base hard hitter was getting me through a lot of that early game content. Even though the equipment skills aren't necessarily great, you could craft it quite early. So just having that raw attack power with the slightly strong shelling and poison element was also really nice. So yeah, I just found it to be a very, very good Gunlance. So that's it for the weapon trees, and I'll just talk a bit about the armor that you should farm in the early game. So in the very early game, I had just crafted this and upgraded it all just so I had some better defense, because obviously you're kind of playing as a tank as the Gunlance. So I just wanted something with a little more defense that I could level up. And we had killed a few Rompopolos, so I was able to get the whole set. So even though the group skills didn't really help me at all, that's what I went with just because it was an early game monster. But I do recommend getting like some type of decent early armor and just upgrading it because it's pretty cheap to upgrade with the armor spheres, and also like it doesn't cost much. So yeah, I just highly recommend doing that just for a little bit more defense. So then we go to the Ajarican set, and the reason this one is so good is because of Part Breaker. So you want to craft at least 3. I crafted the whole set just because, and I leveled it up. But yeah, you want 3 for this Part Breaker. Increases part damage and damage dealt when conditions are met by 30%. This is great for your Drake Augur. So yeah, it's just absolutely excellent. So the ones that have that are the helmet and the chest piece and the legs. So then for your coil and your van braces, you could definitely switch those out with something that you prefer. Something that I would recommend is the Guardian Ebony braces from the Odogaron. So if we look at this, it's got burst. On first hit, gain a small temporary attack and element boost replaced by a larger boost after the 5th hit. And then level 2, hit 5 successive times for a moderate stat boost. So basically just as you're dealing damage, you're going to be getting small stat boosts, which is really nice. And at least for us, we were fighting the Guardian Ebony pretty early. So yeah, just another one that's quite accessible. And then yeah, you can run this setup right to the end game. So let me show you just a couple charms. So then in the later game, I'm running the White Cannon. It's got 3 jewel slots and it comes with guard up, which we already talked about. And then you can run this Iron Wall jewel, which gives you guard. So greatly decreases the impact of attacks and reduces stamina depletion by 50%. And then you have guard up for that 80% damage reduction right here. Reduces damage taken by 80%. So when these things stack together, you're literally a tank. There is nothing basically in the game that can kill you while you're blocking. So it's incredible. And then I got lucky enough to get an artillery 3 jewel. So that just gives me level 3 artillery right off the bat. So if you're going for defense, which I recommend in early game, honestly, artillery is very, very nice, but defense is just so good for standing in there and being the tank. Then I would go with the Iron Wall jewel. But then once you can craft one with 3 slots, try to get an artillery one, which greatly increases each attack and Wyvern's firing speed. Shelling attack plus 90. So yeah, your Wyvern's fire hits for like 25% more damage or so when you have level 3, and the charge time of it is so much quicker. I'll work on a build video showing the different charge times of like level 1, 2, and 3, but it's substantially quicker, which obviously helps your DPS, but it also just helps you get your Wyvern Fire off in a shorter attack window. That's where it's really, really powerful. And again, the White Cannon is the long shelling type, which I actually like. I know it's not the strongest, but it feels good. And then we have the slightly strong power, and then the blast of 400. You do have minus 15% affinity, but that doesn't matter too much. And then the attack is actually massive. So if we look at all the attacks of the rarity 8s, it's actually the second highest attack. You can see 552, 529, 506, and this one's considered the best in the game because it does intrinsically have guard. But like I said, that Iron Wall jewel gives us guard, so I prefer something like guard up. That's just me because, yeah, I'll make a build video on it, but you'll see how tanky I am. And then as we go up, all the other ones are basically guard, not guard up. And this one is, but it's obviously just not as good at 506 power and normal shelling power. And yeah, that's basically it. And then if we look at one other thing here, this one. This is the only one with higher base attack, but it's got water element. I definitely really like blast. And then it's got slightly weak on the shelling power. So to me, this one is the best in the game for my playstyle. Again, so much of how you want to craft your build comes down to playstyle. I totally understand why the Archveld tree is considered the best. I mean, you have 0% affinity, which is much better than minus 15%. White sharpness, where I only have blue sharpness. Yeah, level 3 guard is incredibly powerful. But again, the shelling is long and normal, where this one is slightly strong. The White Cannon to me just feels absolutely incredible, and they both do have 3 gem slots, which is very important, as I showed you. But yeah, being able to get level 3 guard with level 3 guard up basically makes you invincible. So that's pretty much it for kind of how you can craft it to easily take down monsters, tempered monsters in the late game. and yeah, like never really have an issue. So like I said, I'll make a more in-depth build, but I just wanted to talk about like the leveling tree first to try to help you guys out. If you were sort of lost like I am, I'm not new to the Monster Hunter franchise, but it's been like 5 years since I played. I was just kind of reading all the skills, and anyways, like I said, the combination that I kind of showed here today is extremely powerful. Like I said, we're doing really, really fast monster kills in late game, and I'm having no issue ever staying alive because I'm basically invincible. So that's it for the video. Hope you liked it. If you did, click like and subscribe for more Monster Hunter content, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. Hey, if you're still here, then thanks so much for watching to the end. If you like what I do and you want to support me further, then consider becoming a channel member. You'll get your name featured on the end screen, custom badges, and other cool rewards. You can also join my community Discord if that interests you, and if you want to see me stream, be sure to follow me on Twitch at itstizzle7 where I stream semi-regularly. Those are linked in the description. Anyways, that's enough self-promotion. Thanks for watching. Take care.